clicked on this video, you are probably learning a new language or trying to improve one that you've been learning for a while. After a decade plus of self-studying a bunch of languages, I have created a framework. It is extremely simple. There are only 3 steps that you need to plan your language learning. If you're starting from scratch or if you're stuck in the intermediate plateau and you want to level up. This is one of my most widely requested topics, and I have set up a plan using my PAR framework. It is plan, action, and review. It's super simple. To create your PAR, plan, action, and review system, you can use absolutely anything. A piece of paper, a whiteboard, a notebook, or your favorite productivity app. For this video, I'm going to show you how I set up my framework in Scrintal. They are the sponsors of this video, but I'm just going to show you why it works for me. Feel free to use anything. So this is a board in Scrintal. That is like your workspace. And I start here with, let's improve my crusty French. And I've created a few headings: plan, action, and review, obviously. And under plan, I have my milestones for the next 3 months. And under review, I am going to do a review at the end of each month to see how it goes. Plan is where you decide, where am I at currently? What do I want to achieve? Where do I want to be? And what am I going to do to get there? What are my milestones, goals, and my gap analysis?
You can skip this if you are a complete beginner. If you're somewhere in the intermediate phase like me, a gap analysis is essentially saying, what am I able to express now? What kind of mistakes do I make, and where do I want to be? Essentially, where are the knowledge gaps that I need to work on? For me, I know that I struggle with the subjonctif en français, and I have limited vocabulary because I tend to use the same words over and over. Then decide your time frame. For me, it's 3 months, so April, May, and June, and then I set goals from there.
So let's start with P. For my gap analysis, I've created a doc within Scrintal. So what's really great is that you can create multiple documents in one board. To create a doc, you can go to all blocks and say new doc. I'm going to open up my document here. The first thing I've done is, what can I do now? Pretty much like B1 level, just daily activities, travel plans. I can help myself around. But the most important thing here, and I'm going to highlight it, is what do I struggle with? This is the #1 part that you start with in P plan. If you're enjoying this video and you would like to try out Scrintal, I have a 30% discount on a Scrintal subscription. The link is in the description, so check it out. Thank you so much to Scrintal for sponsoring this video. If you don't know what you want to improve, then you're not going to be able to make a proper plan. So for me, grammar, I really need to improve my grammar, especially the subjunctive, etc., and vocabulary. I tend to use the same things over and over. Then this is something I really enjoy, is themes. If you do this, the new vocab you learn is going to pop up way more regularly. If I'm just learning generally about anything, a very specific and niche word is not going to pop up regularly. But if I'm learning about l'IA, which is AI, or UX design en français, ou la psychologie, the words are going to pop up more regularly because I'm continually consuming content about those topics. And then how can I improve? I've decided just to put a bunch of different resources or tips. And then my last document here under the plan section is my routine. So I want to do a diary entry each day. I'm going to stick sticky notes around my house, not labeling stuff because I mean, la chaise, la table, je sais tout, mais I'm going to put like grammar, conjugation, structures, phrases, advanced vocab, just so I see it. Reading, I have a ton of like French books. La magie du rangement. I don't know, I have another French book somewhere. Anyways, so that's my routine. Then milestones. If you've watched my video about the puzzle piece method, that is like working backwards to a goal that you want to achieve, I've set milestones, which are my little puzzle pieces for this 3-month plan. So for April, I want to learn 50 more vocabulary words about AI, psychology, and UX design, which are topics that interest me personally. And I've created a tick list here. You can make a tick list by either going to task list over here, and it'll do it for you. Or you can double click, press / and then choose task list here. You can also drag a block in anywhere that you need it. For here, I've also used Scrintal's AI assistant and told it to create a language learning plan for me as a base for me to work on. So for May, I'm just going to do immersion and output. And for June, I want to test for B1 or B2. You can choose absolutely what you want for the planning section. It's just the first step to getting you on track to figuring out what you're going to do with the time frame you've allotted yourself for your goal. Here in action is my favorite part. So I'm going to open my knowledge base, and what I've done is created a new board. So here we have my French plan board, but I've linked another board called knowledge base. So I'm going to open that. It's so exciting. Here I'm creating a knowledge base, which is essentially like a bunch of resources that I'm dumping here digitally. Just for April 2025, for the rest of this month, I've chosen two or three themes that I want to work on in French, which is UX and AI. En français, c'est IA, c'est l'IA et pas AI, mais oui, that's a bit confusing for me. And I have a document here called articles. Articles are some articles that I'm reading online, and then I've dragged in videos from YouTube that I want to watch. So you can just double click here, say / and video, and it will add a YouTube or Vimeo video. And I also use this knowledge base space to take notes and look up words that I don't know. So in notes here for AI, I've just started by dumping a bunch of images about AI, super basic stuff, but I can learn new vocab from here. But here's the fun part. I am summarizing my articles. So I've watched this video on YouTube, and I've just used another AI tool to summarize it for me. So it gives me the timestamp, etc. And then I've created these blocks that I can link to the main summary of the article. You can do absolutely anything in your knowledge base. If you just want to use it for resources, that's fine, but I like to put my digital notes in here as well. I've summarized it here, and I've highlighted new words and phrases. I can just do it right here. From there, I've highlighted anything that is new for me. What I'm still working on is creating a heading for each of these sections in French on AI prompting. So I just pop my notes right here on this board. If I want to move something around, I can do that, and I can connect a whole bunch of different ideas using the connector. You can use different lines for sub-ideas, different colors. I'm going to go back now to my French plan board. I have created sub-documents like that, which I'm going to do my writing practice for each week. I can open it up and do my typing right here. And lastly, in the PAR framework, we have review. In terms of review, super simple. What did I do this month? What went well, what didn't, and any next steps or learnings for the next month. This is simple. I'm not creating any sub pages for it, but what I did do is use the templates here on Scrintal, and I used charting notes. It's a column-based comparison tool, and it'll do it instantly for you. Amazing. And all I have done is change the headings. So what changes to what did I do this month, what went well, what didn't, and my next steps. I've created a new board called Daily Journal Entries. If you're doing this on paper, just have a different notebook for that. But I'm going to use Scrintal's AI assistant and say, create a format for me to journal daily in French. Amazing. I am just going to pull this out just like that. And I'm going to say create doc from here. Journal quotidien, journal intime, I think is a bit better. Gratitude, what is something that I am grateful for today? Any thoughts or reflections on the day? And then what do I want to do tomorrow? So you can use AI to give you that format, or just go on the templates here in Scrintal and select journal entry. Super easy. So you can create these as compact notes, and I'm going to link these here together to create one solid block with that. And let's give that my favorite color. Pop it in here, and Bob's your uncle. Now I've got my daily entries board here, which I'm going to drag into action. So there you have it, a very simple plan, action, and review framework for planning your language learning made in Scrintal. A reminder that I have a 30% discount link in the description if you would like to try out Scrintal. Also, if you're wondering if I just made this video because Scrintal is sponsoring me, no, I've actually used them for a long time. You can see 1 year ago, I already started using Scrintal. And I want to show you my thesis case study themes just because I'm so proud of this board. My master's dissertation is very broad, but this helped me organize it. So each designer, Japanese designer that I was writing about, I created a card or a doc with some of their poster designs. And then I've linked them to every topic that I was writing about. So themes, plays that they made these posters for, what kind of Japanese aesthetic. So if I click here on Mishima Yukio, who is a Japanese author, you can see the themes that relate to him or the connections visually. It looks wacky, but I had an absolutely great time doing it, and it helped me organize my thoughts. So if this is something you want to try with your language learning, absolutely just use the connectors here to build your own board. Right, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope my PAR framework will be useful for you. Let me know if you do something similar or if you have something to add in the comments. Then if you need a bit more help with building this framework or getting your language learning back on track, managing your time, book a coaching call with me at lindiebuettes.com/coaching. And then please do subscribe to this video. It really helps the algorithm. Interestingly enough, the majority of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So just clicking that bell button is really going to help me so much. I'm sending so much love to you and see you in the next video. Bye! Someone in the last video was like, Lindie, you didn't do your usual bye. So I make sure to include it again. Okay, bye.